All right, fellow day traders, this is the watch list video. I can't believe I'm saying this for Friday already. With that Monday holiday, it really made this week fly by. So tomorrow's Friday. Today's the SPY gap down after the big sell-off yesterday and closed pretty close to where it opened. Here's the intraday. Sold off most of the morning, then made kind of a little V bottom, broke the high of day, and then rolled over into the close. It's not the environment. There is not a lot of follow through that I'm seeing. There are some big runners though, and I think that the group does a great job of kind of identifying the big runners. And I continue to say this: I'm making most of my money letting the big runners prove themselves. Like, okay, bulls are really in charge on this one, and then playing buy zone pullbacks. So that's important to understand. Look at your trades. And by the way, this year I've been filling out a tracker, which I usually didn't do, but I'm enjoying it. It forces you at the end of the day to face your mistakes. And when you write it down, what you did, I think it helps reinforce, hey, don't do that anymore, right? Most of my red trades are coming from, and this is for me, maybe you're the same, maybe you have something else, but figure out where they're coming from and do your best to eliminate those and focus on what's working. And again, for me, it's finding the really strong ones, playing the buy zone pullbacks, right? Most of my red trades are coming from, I would say, I would call it what I call in chat an anticipation entry, right? Something I think is getting ready to start, to take out the high of day, and it's got two catalysts above. I see volume coming in, and I'll take the anticipation entry and never break the high of day, and next thing you know, bottom falls out. Or even if it just comes down a little, that's where my losses are coming from. So for me in the short term, because the market's always changing, you got to listen to what the market's telling you. In the short term, for me, I'm going to make sure and not do that, right? Because if something is set up with stacked catalysts that we look for, right, maybe a lower float and it rips, I don't worry about that ripping without me, because if it truly rips and is strong like I had hoped, then I can jump right into buy zone pullback mode and still get my piece of the pie. I made over $900 today, which I know isn't a lot on GNS because GNS made such a huge move, but I did it. I hadn't even looked at GNS. Great job by Kevin P pointing this out in pre-market. I didn't look at any of this until I think my first pullback. I grabbed $1.41-ish right here, 42-ish maybe on this reversal, and then sold on the way back up. So I only played pullbacks in it, played them with reasonable size, right? And I think I grabbed some 520 right here too. I only got like a dime bounce, but I still made some decent money even on that little bounce. But the point is, even though I missed that huge move, there's money to be made on pullbacks, and this was certainly a strong stock. All right, so anyway, identify where you're losing money and fix it. That's my best advice, right? Sounds easy. What are we watching for tomorrow? Let me first put up this. I know I do this a lot, but I always try to remember somebody might be watching my video for the first time. So pause the video, read that whole thing, and you get a quick scenario of what I do every day and how I make my money. All right. Anyway, so what are we watching for? Possible trades tomorrow. MEGL, which you can't tell anything, right, until I get this big pop out of there. So we can zoom in, and then you can see you had a really nice 2-day run here from like $1.20 to 350-ish. And yesterday put in a lower high at 324. Today, just a quiet inside day. So maybe over today's high, then it takes out 3, then it takes out this catalyst and runs that one. I don't know, but it's a decent looking chart once you zoom in. So that one is on watch. OTRK, let me pan out a little bit here. Had the big pop yesterday, kind of like GNS today. And with that topping tail, I kind of expected it to sell off today, and it didn't. It kind of held up okay. So that one goes on long watch tomorrow, only with a proper intraday A+ setup. MGOL, this was my main focus this morning. I thought, and it topped out at 74. I thought over 75. We have a gap down bounce play entry, and it went to like 79. But at the same time, right around this time, the market was weak, right? And the market, I think, took it down. And then at the end of the day, it ended up taking out the highs right there and giving a little bit of a run. I made a little bit on it there, but back to the daily, it's only been trading for 4 days. This went as high as 1661, and now today finally put in a green candle. So I am going to put this back on long watch for tomorrow. got a nice bounce in it today. It was on bounce watch right off that 20-day. Looking for a follow through of the bounce tomorrow. Same thing with IMAB. Got a nice bounce today and looking for a follow through tomorrow. You almost have two equivalent highs right here. So it's an area to watch. Maybe the whole number 7 comes into play. SLRX, nice pop today. 3.4 million shares. Anyway, nice pop and looking for a possible continuation setup tomorrow. Interesting that it just appears 4, maybe 4 comes into play tomorrow. And the 200 days at 440, which can sometimes, as you guys know, act as a magnet. So that's one of the more interesting charts to me. BYSI, another one that Kevin P pointed out to the room early today, spotted the early strength. This chart is looking really strong, so it goes on watch. BTCM, which was that high flyer, big two-day run on Bitcoin. Now you got a couple inside days, so that one goes on watch. We'll see what Bitcoin does. And then lastly, NRGB, which I'm not in love with. Looking for a third-day play. You had the big pop yesterday, quiet inside day today, looking for a third-day play. We'll add some gappers to this list as well. Do not overtrade this market. Again, identify where your red trades are coming from and stop doing that. And I'll see you guys in the chat room in the morning.